Right.
All right, here's, we're going to start from the same location, and we're going to do a couple of drives. It'll be the same route for each of the drives, and I'm going to try and be similar on each drive with the throttle. And this is using the 1.19 version, and we're going to have a lot of hills up and down, and some cruising close to 60 miles an hour, and I'll try to give a narrative when we're doing some of those things to coincide with what you see on the screen on the scan gauge. So here we go.
This is the amazing part.
Increasing to 50 miles an hour. That's the speed limit on this section of road. I'm at 45. And now 50. Going down a slight decline. And I'll take my foot off the throttle here for a bit, because we're going to turn right up here in just a little bit. So I'm off the throttle right now, just coasting at 50. Back on the throttle just a little. Coasting again, going to turn right. Okay, we're braking now. This would be a slight incline, and I'm going to give it some pretty good throttle. Starting out at about 10 miles an hour. 30, second gear. 40, second gear. Third gear. 50 at the top of the little hill here, and we're going to level off a little bit. I'm back in a kind of a cruise at 55, and now we're going to start up another incline, and I'm going to try and hold it at 55 going up this hill. Actually, I'm at 60 right now, so I'll back off just a bit. Around 57, 58. We're at the top of the hill right about now, and I'm at cruising again. Foot is pretty much off the throttle. We're coasting at 50, down an incline. I'm braking just a little bit now. We're crawling back up to 55. Coasting. 57. Now I'm just going to hold 57 on this flat ground. A little more throttle. A bit of an incline. incline, a little more throttle, holding 55. At the top of the incline. Off the throttle, coasting 50. We're just going to coast down the hill. I'm in fourth gear. I'm at 60, coasting. Level ground again, still 60. No throttle, just coasting. We're down to 50 now, a little bit of throttle. A little bit of a decline. We're level again. An incline, a little more throttle. 55. Holding at 55, a little throttle up an incline. At 1 or 2% incline. Plenty of power. We're at the top of the incline. .55, just cruising. Starting a decline, foot off the gas. We're at 50. Got a roundabout coming up. So I'm just going to coast up to the roundabout here. Still at 50. Okay, I'll start braking now. Slowing to 30. And we'll just crawl around this roundabout. It's a real narrow roundabout. Just barely touching the throttle. And I'm going to get on it here as soon as we come around this roundabout and get back on our road. We got to get past some narrow signs here. We're at 15 miles an hour. And here we go. Second gear, 40, third gear, 45, back into fourth at 50, going up a hill. .55, 60, top of the hill. Levels off, I'm just going to hold it at 60. Foot off the throttle because we're going downhill slightly, but we're still at 60. Still at 60. Coasting. Coasting, 60. Starting to go up a hill. Back on the throttle to hold it at 60. Back to pretty level ground. I'm gonna hold it at 60. Just cruising right now. Going to go up a hill. I'm going to try and hold it at 60. Means I'll be giving it more throttle. Still at 60. 58, top of the hill. I'm going to back off. I'm going to cruise now. Pretty flat ground. I'm at 50. Just cruising flat ground. .55 flat ground, cruising. Approaching an incline. Going to try and hold 55. Going to give it some gas. Still 55, going uphill. Uphill, 55. Approaching the top of the hill. And I'm going to back off. Just cruising, or actually just coasting. Going downhill, coasting. 50. Coasting. 50. Give it just a little bit of gas. Still downhill. Foot off the gas, just coasting. 53. Going back a very small incline, 53, but coasting. Top of the hill. Now going downhill, but we're approaching a stop sign, so I'm going to start braking. I am not using the great brake. I'm just braking. 40 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour, coming to a stop. Once I get back out on the highway here, I'm going to get into it a little bit. But I got a lot of traffic, so it's going to take a moment. Not long. It'll be pretty flat ground when I get out here. I'm going to stand on it pretty good. Earlier today I did get to 243 grams on the mass airflow. So here we go. 20 miles an hour. 30. Second gear. 40. Second gear. Third gear. 50. Still third gear. 55. Now fourth. Kind of going up an incline. Slight incline. I'm at 60. Chugging right along. Holding 60. Almost to the top of the incline. Still holding 60. Got to back off a little bit because I'm climbing too much. This is only a 50 mile an hour road. We're at the top of the first incline. Coasting down now for just a little bit, and we're going to hit it again. Going back up, another incline. I'm at 60, just holding 60. Probably about a 2.5, maybe 3% grade. Snuck up to 62 on me here, but almost to the top of the incline. And I'm going to back off because there's a stoplight up here. And I want to be slowing down as I approach it just in case. It's still red. It just turned green. But I'm still going to play safe and just coast. 55. Okay, we're going to go through the green light at 50. And I'm going to bring it back up to 60. Foot back in it, flat ground. 55. I think I'm just going to hold it at 55. Flat ground. Cruising. Cruising, flat ground. Got another roundabout we're approaching, so I'm going to back off at 55, just let it coast. Coasting at 50. Okay, I'm going to start braking to go through this roundabout. Just coasting right now. Foot is not on the throttle. Slowly working around this roundabout. Okay, as soon as I get through the roundabout, I'll probably stand on it here again pretty good. I'm in 20, second gear. Still at 20, going to be flat ground, and here we go. Just went to third. 50. Going up a hill, just a slight hill. Fourth gear, I'm at 60. Backing off, I'm just going to coast here for just a little bit. I'm going to let it come back down to 55, which is where I'm at right now, so I'm just going to cruise. Approaching that stoplight again. I'm going to cruise up to it. 50. Okay, we're going to get through it all right. Going up a hill. Get it back up to about 55 here. We're at 55 and cruising up a slight hill. Now at the top of the hill, and I'm going to take my foot out of it, just let it coast down the hill. Fourth gear. I'm not using any of the overdrive gears, so we're coasting down in fourth. Still 52, 53 miles an hour. Just coasting. We are almost to the bottom of the hill, and it starts back up again, so I'm going to now give it some gas. Going up, 55. It was a short hill, we're at the top. And I'm just going to do whatever it takes to keep it at 55. We're starting to head down, so I'm coasting right now. Foot off the throttle. Still going down a small decline. 55. Foot off the throttle. Coasting. Now we're back onto level ground. I'm almost 60. Still coasting. And now I'm going to maintain 55. So we're just cruising. I got a little throttle going on. I'm going to hold 55. Going up a slight incline. 55. A little more gas to maintain 55. Still going up. Still 55. Okay, we're back onto level ground. And my foot is off the throttle. And I'm coasting to the next roundabout. Okay, I'm braking. And now I'm entering the roundabout. Still level ground. Coming out of the roundabout. But I'm going to hold it about 45 because we're going to go down a real steep hill and I don't want to gain too much momentum. So we're at 30, a little bit of gas. 40. That's about where I'm going to keep it. 40. I'm just cruising right now. Foot off the throttle. So from here on, we're probably just going to coast. I may shift down into third manually. We're at 40. This is probably I don't know, maybe a 4%. I don't think it's 5. So I'm braking, no throttle, downhill, shifting down to third. I'm in third, just coasting down the hill. No throttle. It's interesting how the oxygen sensors, still, even though we're in open loop, go to 0. As does the short term, both banks. Maybe that's normal. Well, I don't know. 40 miles an hour. We're going to go up this hill we just came down in just a moment. Okay, I'm approaching a stoplight, so I'm starting to brake now. So from here on, it's going to be kind of stop and go. But I've given you a narrative this far. I'll continue to give the narrative. We're at a stop, just idling. Still at the stoplight. Okay, green light. We're gonna go. just coasting 30. Kind of got to go around a city block here, for lack of a better explanation, to get back out on the road. Then we're going to go up that 4% grade. I'm calling it 4%. I don't know for sure that it is. Okay, I got one more stoplight, and then we're going to head up the hill. And we're stopped. Now going up this hill, I'll probably only run it to where we're in the RPM range of about 3,500. That's where I think the sweet spot is on the power curve for horsepower. So that'll probably be third gear for me. And that'll be about 45 miles an hour on a 50-mile-an-hour road. Okay, here we go. Turning onto the main highway. We just went to second gear and here we go, going up. Third gear, 3,000 RPM, 45. Oops, we went to fourth. I'm going to drop down to third manually. We're at 45 and about 3,100. Almost to 50. At about 3,400, 3,500. I'm just going to hold it right there. I'm doing the speed limit. Almost to the top of the hill. Top of the hill right now, and I'm going to slip it into fourth, and we're just going to cruise here for a bit at 45. We're approaching the roundabout. This is the roundabout that we started from, so I'm going to continue recording until we get parked in exactly the position that we started from. Slowing down. I'm starting to use the brake. So we're just coasting and we're entering the roundabout. Okay. We are off the highway. And we're just going to putt through the parking lot, get turned around and get parked. And that'll be the end of this drive. And when I get parked, I'm going to give you some more information. Let it idle maybe just for a moment or two so we can see what happens to the trims and the oxygen sensors. Not sure I can remember the last time I had both oxygen sensors work for this long. I did this same route earlier today, probably about 4 or 5 times. Spent about, oh gosh, an hour and a half out here, up and down that hill and up to 60, through the roundabouts. Okay, I am going to park this thing here in the shade. It's about, and here's the extra information, whether it's important or not, I don't know. But we're about 5 to 6 o'clock in the evening. It's been 85 degrees here today. We're probably in that low 80 range right now. And we are now parked. Again, this was using version 1.19. And the temperature was something that I thought might be worth mentioning. I had plenty of power going up the hills. I'm not starved for, I don't hear any pinging. I'll go through the other pages. This one has engine load and the mass airflow sensor is the only thing different. This last page, page 3, I put in the misfire count, my engine oil pressure and coolant temperature. I'm not sure if any of that is significant enough to do another drive that we just performed. So there we are sitting in park at an idle, and there's my fuel trims. I know we were probably high because I can't see the gauge from where I'm sitting. I've twisted it in such a way that Kathy can record with the smartphone. But I'm pretty sure we were probably well up into the 20s, maybe even 25 on the long term. So hopefully with my narrative, at the same time you're witnessing some of the fuel trim numbers, and when I've got the foot off the gas and foot on the gas, that helps you understand where the load is relative to fuel trims. You did get the throttle position number in that test drive, and I'm hoping that was helpful maybe to see what was going on with my foot. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm certainly willing to do another run like this with version 1.20 to compare apples to apples. So there you go. Thanks, Kevin. There's a picture of the mountains up there. We see that from our house. That's the Olympic Mountains.